Hey guys, what's going on? So today Nintendo finally announced a Nintendo Direct. This is the first full Direct since I think sometime late last year. We got a Direct Mini back in January, which was still, even though it was a mini, it was packed with a lot of stuff. Even without the ports, it was still a lot of new info we got. Plus, there's been new info since then, like Detective Pikachu and the Labo and stuff. So lots of stuff. I believe this is going to be the last Direct before E3. I just think it's going to be because after this you got April, May, June. They may do one little micro thing right before E3, but I doubt it. Who knows? Who knows? But I did compile a list on my phone of stuff that I think will be shown, I think won't be shown, stuff that I kind of want or predict. So yeah, they did a couple things. They confirmed, so it's gonna be March 8th, which is tomorrow. Or today if you're watching this actually, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. 30 minutes long, so that's pretty sizable chunk. And 3DS and Switch. I know the 3DS part pisses a lot of people off because they want it to die. People kept saying for so long that it's dead. It's proven not to be, and now people are saying they want it to die. They want it to die. They want Nintendo to cancel all the games, put them all on Switch, which is selfish. That's dumb. All because they don't want to play them on a 240p screen. Who cares as long as the game's fun? Who cares? I don't... graphics whores, you know. But, anyways, so I'm going to go through, like I said, this list. I'm going to do 3DS stuff first. I think 3DS, I think they're going to do 3DS first just to get out of the way, though. As far as first party goes, they're probably going to touch upon Detective Pikachu. Comes out this month. They're going to touch upon it, hopefully for not too long, because we already know about it. I can't look for that game, by the way. Sushi Striker, The Way of the Sushido. They unveiled this last E3. I don't think they're going to unveil it for a second time at E3. I think it's going to be a direct game because I think it's coming. I think it's going to come out sometime sooner rather than later this year. But it looks cool. Action puzzle game. Very unique art style. I can't wait for it. Dylan's Rolling Western, The Dead Heat Breakers. This is a game that was announced a little while back, I think for Japan. But it's the third Dylan's Rolling Western game. I think they'll talk about it, at least for North America. I'll talk about a release maybe. But yeah, as far as first party stuff goes, that's pretty much all we know of. I think that's what they're going to talk about for 3DS. For third party, we already know the Alliance Alive and SMT Strange Journey Redux are coming out soon. They're probably going to touch upon those. And then other stuff that's in Japan that I think they could do. Persona Q2 was announced recently. I think that they'll talk about that a little bit coming from Atlas. Atrium Mystery Dungeon 2 as well coming from Atlas. That came out at the end of last year in Japan. We got the first game. We've gotten every Atlas 3DS game, so I think they're going to announce that for the US. Now, Yokai Watch. I think they're going to announce Yokai Watch Busters or Yokai Watch 3. Because we've gotten the first two games. We got the first game back in 2015. We got the first two versions of the second game in 2016. And then last year we got the third version of Yokai Watch 2. So I think it's time for the next one for this year. They've had relatively decent success with it. Not great success, but decent success with it here in the U.S. I think Nintendo will publish them again. I think they'll announce them at this Direct. That'd be interesting. I'm all for it. I love Yokai Watch. Awesome series. I love Level 5. Speaking of Level 5, I think the Snack World is due for a worldwide premiere because it's been in Japan. That's Level 5's newest IP. Now, they did make it for the 3DS and later made a Switch port. Now, it depends which version we're going to get. I personally don't see them just doing 3DS. I'm pretty sure they'll bring over the Switch one, which, if that's the case, that'll be the one I get. But if for whatever reason they do bring over just 3DS version, I'll still buy it regardless. I don't care what system it's on. The game's going to be fun regardless, and it looks awesome. And then last thing, Dragon Quest. I think it's about time we finally... If they're going to bring over the 3DS version of Dragon Quest XI, because we already know the PS4 version for sure is coming this year, but we don't know any other details, I think now is as good a time as ever to talk about it, just because I don't foresee it being a big E3 thing, and especially since Japan, the Switch version is still MIA in Japan. So as far as the Nintendo side of things go, all we have to go on is the 3DS version. I don't think they're going to save that for E3, so whatever. And then I think one thing they'll do, because Nintendo's had such success with it with Pokemon, I think they're going to bring over the Dragon Quest 1 through 3 remakes, the ones that were on mobile. They retooled them for the 3DS in Japan recently, and I think they'll bring those over for the eShop release here in North America. I would personally love that. I can see something like that happening, especially if they talk about Dragon Quest XI. It'd be a way to sort of promote it. Like, let's say Dragon Quest XI were to come out for 3DS and for PS4 in July or something. It'd be cool to see, like, the months leading up, they release, oh, here's Dragon Quest 1, then here's 2, then here's 3 and stuff. And I think they also released them on the PS4's store in Japan. Don't quote me on that, but it could be a way to promote both games, you know, both versions of the game. It'd be cool. And I would personally love that, because that would mean we would have the entire mainline series outside of outside of 10, because 10's like an MMO, but we'd have 1 through 9 and 11 all playable in the US on the 3DS, and that would be amazing. So, anyways, on to Switch stuff. They're probably gonna touch upon Kirby. Hopefully not too long, because it's coming out in like a week. We know about it. It's gonna be awesome. Mario Tennis Aces. Now, this is the game we know they're gonna talk about. We know they're gonna focus a great deal on, which I'm excited for. It looks awesome. No one's talking about the game, you know, which is weird, because again, I mentioned before, when Ultra Smash came out on the Wii U, people pitched a fit about it because of the fact that it was bare bones. It wasn't the game they wanted, blah, 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 a lazy, rushed game. But now you're getting a huge Mario Tennis game and no one's talking about it, you know. It's dumb. I don't know why people, you know, just flip-flop like that, but whatever. I can't wait for the game. It looks awesome. Huge story mode. Can't wait to see more details on it. They're probably going to show a date for it, too, because we know it comes out sometime this spring. I think it's going to be a June game. I think it's going to release around the time of E3, like either right before or right after. Kind of like ARMS did last year. I think that's what's going to happen. They'll probably announce like a little DLC pack for it, too, because they did that for Mario Golf on the 3DS, and that had some awesome DLC. So I could see them doing that. That'd be awesome. I think they're going to give a date for Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, because Japan, it comes out this month, so I think we're going to get the European and American date for it. I think it's going to be sometime next month in April, because there's not really a big game. I mean, they have the Labo coming out in April, but for the core gamers, there's not really a big game from Nintendo that I could think of, because we got Kirby this month, as well as Detective Pikachu, and then we got, in May, we got Donkey Kong. So I think April's going to be Hyrule Warriors. I can foresee that being in April, probably like the week before Labo, I think, just to give some breathing room before Donkey Kong. Now I think there's going to be one last DLC thing for Hyrule Warriors, though, because every time they've re-released the game, they've had DLC for it. On Wii U, they had the Season Pass at 4 DLC packs throughout the year. They did the same thing again for Hyrule Warriors Legends. Season Pass with 4 DLC packs. I don't think we're going to get an entire like Season Pass with 4 packs. I think we'll get 1 DLC pack, though, because they've already put in the costumes for Breath of the Wild, Link, and Zelda. I can foresee them putting in a Champions pack that lets you play as all 4 of the champions. That would be awesome. That's more of a wish than a prediction, because that's something I would really love. I love it. I would enjoy the hell out of that. That would be freaking cool. So I hope that happens. That'd be cool. I'd be down with that. I'd pay $5 or $10 for that. Hell, I mean, 20 is pushing it. I mean, I'd still get it. I'm biased against Zelda. I will openly admit that. But I think if they did that, have a pack with like 4 of the 4 champions, some other Breath of the Wild stuff, I think $10. $10 would be the sweet spot. 5 if they're being generous. I think they're going to touch upon Yoshi. Now, I think what they're going to do is I think they're going to reveal the final name for Yoshi and a small teaser, and then they're going to say, we'll talk more at E3. I think it's going to be a big game on the show floor for E3. Now, 2 games I think they're going to talk about that we haven't seen yet. Fire Emblem. Let me mention why Fire Emblem. Why here instead of E3? They've never really revealed a big Fire Emblem game at E3. I mean, you look at the past couple ones, especially the ones on 3DS. You got Fates, you got Echoes, Awakening. They were all unveiled during Nintendo Directs, and they were further supplemented with E3. I think they're going to do the same thing. That's been their thing with Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem isn't a headliner. It has a very vocal fan base, and it's gotten a lot more popular over the past couple of years, yes, but it's still a niche franchise. It still doesn't pull millions of units. It's not a headline grabber like Prime 4 or Pokemon is. It's just facts. So I think them announcing it during, doing the full unveil during a direct, and then revealing more at E3 is the way to go. I think that's what they're going to do. I think it's definitely going to be, a fall title. I don't know if they're going to talk a release date or anything, but I think they're going to give us the title for it and a gameplay trailer. So I think that would be cool. I just hope it's one version And I hope you have an actual protagonist this time, not one of those create your avatar bullshit. I hope they go back to I want them to go back more to like the Game Boy Advance games or the GameCube and Wii games. Like that's what I like. Ike's games, Roy's games, Sticker Stones. Like those are the games that I kind of want them to draw from as far as the style. But that's just me. But yeah, I think they'll have that. It's been like a year since we heard about it, so it'd be interesting to see it. And then Pikmin 4. Now I know I'm really reaching here, but Pikmin 4 I think we will see because Miyamoto's talked about it for a long time. He's barely talked about it, only like 2 or 3 times during interviews, but it's been like about 3 years or so since he first talked about it, maybe 2 years, and he said it was nearing completion. Back then, I was saying it was going to be one of the last games for the Wii U. That didn't turn out to be the case. So I think we're going to see it. And why do I think it's going to be at a Direct instead of E3? Yes, Pikmin 3 was unveiled at E3, but as we all know, a lot of the Wii U had a lot of trouble getting its message out there to gamers. Pikmin 3, while it was received positively, it wasn't a headline grabber. It wasn't a stellar title. Again, it didn't have the pulling power of something like Pokemon or Prime 4. I think Nintendo realizes that, but at the same time, they realize it still sells good enough, and there's still an audience for Pikmin. So I think what they're going to do is, same thing with Yoshi. I think they're going to tease Pikmin 4 and then say, wait for E3 for more info. I think that's what they're going to do. Instead of doing the full unveil at E3 and focusing on it, I think they're going to do the unveiling here and then showing more info at E3, like Yoshi and like Fire Emblem. I think that's the way to go about it. I also think they're going to talk about Splatoon 2 because I think they're going to talk about like some of the updates coming this year to Splatoon, like a year 2 of sorts for it, like maybe some new modes or some other stuff, new stages, new options, stuff like that. I think I could see them doing that for Splatoon 2, because again, that's something we're pertaining more to a Direct than E3. Splatoon's been out for so long, it's Splatoon 2. I mean, I don't think it'd be something E3 worthy. They might touch upon it E3, but I think it's a Direct thing. One more thing, though, I want to talk about when it comes to first party, it's kind of third party, though, is Hideki Kamiya has retweeted about the Direct. Now, we all know Hideki Kamiya, Platinum Games. Awesome guy. Love him. I love Platinum Games. Love all their stuff. Usually when developers retweet stuff, that means they're going to show something off. Like whenever guys from Monolith Soft retweet stuff, usually you see something Xenoblade related. Now, we're not going to get Bayonetta 3. We're not. It's not going to be here. It's going to be E3. But what I think is going to happen is something Wonderful 101 related. They've teased about it for like a year now. I think we're going to get either an enhanced port or maybe even better, an enhanced port and a quick tease of a sequel. I could see it. No one remembers that game except for diehard fans of that game, such as myself. And that game needs a second run. Especially on a system like the Switch, as popular as it is, it needs a second run to get its reach out there more. But yes, I think that's what it means. As far as other third-party stuff, No More Heroes, I could see them talking about. I hope they talk about Project Octopath Traveler, because I want to know more about that game. Maybe talk about fruits from the survey and stuff they did. And then last thing, Mega Man. I want to see more about the Mega Man Legacy Collections and the Mega Man X Collections, especially the X Collections. They'll probably talk about the Legacy Collections a little bit, but we really need to know what they're doing about the Mega Man X series, because I can't wait for those. I love the X series. I like it more than the Classic series. That's how I was first introduced to Mega Man, was Mega Man X, and then I went back and played the Classic series, so it's just how I grew up. I love Mega Man X. Now, games I don't think they'll talk about, even though everyone keeps saying they will. Prime 4, that's an E3 game. Smash Bros, that's an E3 game, and we're going to get a brand new game eventually in the next couple of years. We're not going to get a port of Wii U. The dream is dead, guys. Stop talking about rumors and leaks and fake bullcrap. We're not going to get a port. We're going to get Smash Bros. 5. Deal with it. Pokemon. Pokemon's not going to be talked about because Pokemon always gets its own individual Direct to reveal the next generation. It's just how it always been. They're not going to randomly, especially the first iteration on a home console, they're not going to do that here. Bayonetta 3, again, not going to be talked about. That's going to be something that's a big gun for E3. Mobile, we already know they're not going to talk about mobile stuff. So Mario Kart Tour and all that, not going to be talked about. They said specifically Switch and 3DS. They're not going to talk about the online stuff. I don't think they will. That starts in September. I think they'll talk about it in like July or something. I don't think there's going to be Virtual Console either. I think it's strictly talking about games. They might talk about some accessories. Like I could see them doing some themed Joy-Cons or Pro Controllers or something, which would be cool. But yeah. And then Mario Odyssey DLC. Everyone keeps saying that game needs DLC. We're not going to get DLC for that. That's my prediction because they already gave us a free update with Luigi's Balloon World. I think that was their way of saying, here's something more to supplement the game. But if they were going to have paid DLC, they would have done it by now, you know? The game's been out since October. It's like 6 months since it came out, almost, you know? I don't think they're going to talk about it, you know? It's just like, it's I don't know. They're not going to have paid DLC. I don't think they are. But yeah, those are my predictions and thoughts on tomorrow's Direct. I will have a post-reactions video tomorrow. I unfortunately do have to work at the time the Direct is airing, but I get off shortly after the Direct, so hopefully I can rewatch it. I'm going to watch it maybe twice, and then I will have a reactions video for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you guys are predicting for the Direct. I'd love to hear other people's reactions. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys later.